Do you think you know how to tackle a day at Epicuniverse? Well, Super Nintendo World at Epicuniverse has posted some of the longest wait times in all of Universal Orlando, which makes it a challenge when trying to figure out how to game the system and get more done within your one day. But that's why I created this video, as I'm about to break down the best tips and tricks for Super Nintendo World, including some of the best times to hit these rides, which are also open for early park admission, how to get more out of your day with a power-up band, and there's one character meet and greet you do not want to miss. This is video 2 of my 5-video series covering all 5 worlds at Epicuniverse. So if this video seems like you might like it, just be sure to stick around till the end. Hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Let's go get started. Thank you again so much for checking out this video. Today we are focusing on Super Nintendo World, where you step through the warp pipe and into the world of your favorite Mario games. So the real focus of this video is going to be some of the already best tips and tricks that we have picked up within our time at Epic. So let's jump right in, and we are going to start with, I think, one of probably the most surprising to me, and that is going to be prepared for stairs. There's a lot of stairs in Super Nintendo World, since it is essentially 2 floors, and that kind of does add to the ambiance, right? Because as you're going right up the warp tunnels, which we will talk about next, you know, you will get that feeling. Universal really needed to set it up this way. However, it is a lot. I used to go to the theme parks with my grandparents. If you're bringing your parents, grandparents, all that good stuff, right, you need to be prepared for this. Of course, there's also the accessible entrances, which kind of brings me into my next tip and trick. Is there's actually 3 different ways to get into Super Nintendo World. The first is escalators through the iconic warp pipe. Next is an accessible elevator entrance that also has a warp pipe. And also there is a ground floor entrance, which is essentially right to the left of the Superstar store, which will essentially make you enter on the ground level. And I would say the tip here is, if you know that you are trying to get to Minecart Madness or Yoshi's Adventure the fastest way possible, you really want to just go through that entrance on the main ground floor. But over to the next tip and trick. So let's start to talk about the rides, right? So there are 3 rides within Super Nintendo World. We have Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, we have Donkey Kong Minecart Madness, and Yoshi's Adventure. So here's what's actually surprising to me the first couple months of Epic opening up. When I first went to Epicuniverse, I was like, wow, this queue for Mario Kart is huge. This is like crazy. And what I would say too is the queue at Mario Kart is probably one of the most entertaining and surprisingly enjoyable queues I've ever been on, but it is huge. Now I understand why. Mario Kart actually has the highest average wait time out of all of the Super Nintendo World rides, and it's right up there with Harry Potter for the longest wait time in Epicuniverse, and really at this point in all of Universal Orlando. So Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge is a super popular ride. You have to keep that in mind, as it does change the way that you're probably going to tackle these rides. Now, the tip here is be prepared for that. We have Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge at an average wait time of 93 minutes. Minecart Madness, average wait time of 75 minutes. Yoshi's Adventure with an average wait time of 28 minutes, which is also a pretty big surprise. So now, how do you tackle these rides, right? As I mentioned earlier in the video, this world is open for early park admission, which is something we at the Park Prodigy love, because you get an extra hour in the park. Of course, you do have to be staying at an official Universal Orlando hotel, or have, you know, some of the other right tickets to get early park admission, right? But so how do you tackle your day? Do you go to Super Nintendo World for early park admission? And here's kind of how I would say to tackle your day, right? If you have young kids, if they love Nintendo World, and if you're just trying to get as much out of Super Nintendo World as possible, then yes, you use it for early park admission and you're going to get a ton done. However, if you're trying to get on as many rides as possible, I actually think based on those wait times, you're better off going to Dark Universe, which is also open for early park admission at this point in time. Or what some folks have been doing is they're actually just using their early park admission hour to wait for Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry to open up. What I would say too is, if you have an express pass, that does also tie into what you might do. Again, because if you're not willing to sacrifice waiting for Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry because it's not open yet, then you want to go to Super Nintendo World to go on Minecart Madness, which is not included with the Universal Express Pass. The other caveat always check the Universal Orlando app and see which worlds and which rides are open for early park admission, because they can change. But based off the info I have right now, that's kind of how I would tackle it. And so let's say that you are going to Super Nintendo World for early park admission. How would you go on the rides? Well, if you don't have the Express Pass, I would go on Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge first. If you do have the Express Pass, I would go on Minecart Madness. Now, the reason why is because Minecart Madness is not included with the Universal Express Pass. Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry also is not included with the Universal Express Pass, so you could see why some folks, are kind of up in the air on what they might do. Now, on the flip side of this, let's say you don't have the early park admission, or you don't want to go to Super Nintendo World during early park admission, right? When do you go then to Super Nintendo World? Well, I would say come back to this world later at night. The reason being is I went and I looked at the wait time data. So essentially at 9 a.m. during early park admission, we looked at the average wait times for Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge and Donkey Kong Minecart Madness. So at 9 a.m., Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge had an average wait time of 85 minutes. But at 7 p.m. at night, it also had an average wait time of 85 minutes. But where it gets interesting is once you get to 8 p.m. at night, the wait time actually goes down to 55 minutes. So what I would suggest here is if you're coming back later at night, you actually start with Minecart Madness. Why? Because Minecart Madness had an average wait time at 9 a.m. of 67 minutes. However, if you came back at night, it had an average wait time of 73 minutes. So if you come and you hit Minecart Madness first, you're not giving up too much time. It's an extra 6 minutes on average. However, once you get off that ride, you can then go over to Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, and there you're saving around 30 minutes. And that's just kind of how I would tackle the rides. I also feel like this is one of the most entertaining lands at night, which is the benefit of coming back to this world at night. You do get to really enjoy it. And even if you come for early park admission, come back at night, it's going to be a completely different experience. It really comes to life. It's kind of hard to explain until you step into the world. But moving over to some of the next tip and tricks, and let's talk about entertainment. What else is there to do within this world outside of the rides? Well, one of the really clever ways that Universal has gotten us all to spend more money is to purchase and set up a Powerup band. And what this is it's essentially just like it sounds. It's a wristband that you wear, but you go and you can compete all these different challenges throughout Super Nintendo World. And so right at the time of the recording of this video, this is going to cost right around an extra $42. Now, the cool thing about this is if you have a Powerup band from, let's say, Universal Hollywood or maybe even Japan, you can bring that band. It will work in Universal Orlando. You just have to make sure you connect it to the Universal Orlando app. The tip and trick here would be you can purchase a Powerup band at your Universal Orlando hotel, let's say when you're checking in or just anytime before you get to Epic. And we recommend to do that so you can actually take the band out, you can get it set up on the Universal Orlando app, so you're pretty much ready to go, especially if you're going for early park admission and you want to get the most out of it and just use your band right away. You want it set up. And the way that it works is you are going to be tracking and completing all these challenges and earning points through the Universal Orlando app. So that's another tip and trick. Pretty much I give it in every single one of my videos. Always download the Universal Orlando app before you get down to the parks. Another really important one and cool one is that not everyone in your party needs a Powerup band. You can get one or you can get two for your kids and you could still play the games with them. It's essentially one person needs a band and it will allow up to 4 people to kind of walk through all the different challenges with that one person. And essentially what the goal here is to compete all the challenges and get to compete in Bowser Jr. Showdown. So the way it works is if you unlock 3 keys, you can play this mini game and you can kind of tag along and go and compete as well with the person who has a band, even if you don't have one. So speaking of collecting, keys and challenges, there's also a little bit of a strategy when it comes to actually going and like which game to unlock first. And what we have seen is Piranha Plant Clock, the mini game, is one of the most popular choices. And for that reason, it typically has a longer line. So again, try to hit this ride as early as possible or a little bit later in the evening. And another cool one that we picked up from speaking with team members is you don't actually have to hit your Powerup band directly on the blocks. You can hit your fist and it will still collect the coins. And the other way, you could actually break your band by continuing to hit it against the blocks. And don't forget, there are hidden digital stamps on the queues of the rides as well. And this is kind of how Universal frustrates me personally, where it's like, I want to upgrade and possibly get an express pass, or we just did a VIP experience, me and my friends, and I actually did a full video on if that's worth it or not. I would say one of the things I didn't think about, but now as I did this video, I'm thinking about it, you don't get to collect the hidden digital stamps in the queues if you have an upgraded experience. So that's kind of one of the ways that if you don't, you get to benefit from it. Some of the other tips and tricks to keep an eye out for, don't forget they have some of the coolest character meet and greets in all of Universal Orlando. So of course it wouldn't be Super Nintendo World without Mario and Luigi. We also have Princess Peach. We do have a Donkey Kong meet and greet, and probably what I have found to be one of the coolest and most popular meet and greets I've ever been to is Toad. And if you don't know where he's going to be, you probably could miss it. And he is actually located right in the middle of Super Nintendo World on the first level, really right when you walk in. So just be sure to keep an eye out for when he will be doing meet and greets. Okay, over to some of our favorite dining tips and tricks. Super Nintendo World has probably one of the most popular snacks in all of Epic Universe in the DK Crush float. So it is a very popular snack and the line can be pretty long. And the important thing to keep in mind here is the line is outside. So you do have to just be mindful of that. I would also say this is probably one of the most expensive snacks I have ever had. Is it worth it? Personally, it's probably a one and done for me. But if you like banana, I do think you definitely will want to give this a try. Outside of that, there's also Toadstool Cafe. So the tip and trick here would be Toadstool Cafe does not take reservations. It is a quick service restaurant, so you do have to make sure that you can get a table in order to eat there. So we would say try to eat in the off-peak times. So avoid 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, avoid 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock at night, and you should be good. Another really interesting thing that I actually posted in one of my other videos about Toadstool Cafe is it's not actually bathrooms within the restaurant. Of course, there's bathrooms within Super Nintendo World, but you have to actually walk across the world, which I thought was weird, and especially if you're visiting with young kids, maybe make sure everyone does the bathroom break, stuff like that, before you go and sit down. I will say that they are probably some of the coolest bathrooms I've ever been in, especially if you are a Mario fan. You have to go and check out these bathrooms. They're really, really cool. And what I would also say is the food in Toadstool Cafe like amazing? No. Is it very well themed though? Yes. Some of our favorite items that we got were the Toadstool cheesy garlic knots, the Luigi burger, which is a pesto grilled chicken sandwich. We got the Bowser's Fireball challenge, and we also got the Mario burger, which is bacon, mushroom, and cheese. But those are just some of them, guys. There's a lot that's going on at Epic Universe, but this was my first tip and trick video specifically for Super Nintendo World. I am going to be doing a full tip and trick video on the Power-Up band. So like I said, if you are visiting Universal Orlando, if you're going to Epic Universe, just be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I have a lot more similar content just like this coming out in the coming weeks to make sure you are as prepared as possible for your next Universal Orlando vacation. And as a thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, I actually have a special promo code you can go use on our website, theparkprodigy.com, to save an extra $50 off your next family vacation. And that promo code is going to be MAGIC50. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.